Welcome back to The Power and the Glory. Today we're going to have a look at a hero of faith within the Bible, and that person is Abraham. He's an example of unshakable faith. But why is he a faith hero? Well, it's because he lived his life according to God's promises as opposed to what his current situation was showing him in the external world. God tested Abraham like few others, but to his credit, Abraham always came through with the goods. Now, there are two examples of Abraham's exceptional faith I wanted to illustrate. The first of which was when he was asked to depart from his very comfortable home in Mesopotamia to go to a totally unknown land in Canaan. Now, Abraham didn't know what the journey was going to be like, what the challenges were on that journey, far less what Canaan was going to be like when he arrived there later on. But it was a successful journey made by Abraham's incredible, unshakable faith. The other example is showing his unbelievable, rock-solid obedience to God was when he was asked by God to sacrifice his son Isaac at an altar. Now, the sacrifice was only stopped at the last moment by the timely intervention of an angel, so it shows his incredible obedience to God. What else do we know about Abraham? We know that he was a peaceful man and a compassionate man. For example, he argued and bargained with God to spare the lives of Sodom and the lives of the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, something that he was unsuccessful in achieving, but it showed his humanity. We know that he was hospitable. He welcomes 3 visiting angels to his home, and he was generous, compassionate to his nephew Lot. But we also know, and this is what helps us warm to Abraham, that he was flawed in many ways. For example, in his travels to Egypt, he convinced everybody, including Pharaoh, that his comely wife, Sarah, was in fact his sister to avoid confrontations. But God took these weaknesses and perfected himself within the weaknesses, perfected his strength within his weaknesses. What are Abraham's achievements? Well, he founded a new nation. He also founded the principle of monotheism, the belief in one God only. So what are we to take from Abraham's life? Well, our goal should be to emulate Abraham and unquestioningly believe in God's promise to us, to live in faith rather than be swayed by present circumstances. Abraham shows how ordinary people can accomplish extraordinary things if they have an unshakable faith.